Hello and welcome back to Dinner for Two. Guess what? I have an amazing guest in the studio today. I am so honored to have this guy. And for my audience, what I want you to think about is your journey. This guest is here with us today, a little bit unorthodox from my normal guest, because this guy is one who has shown up in sports spaces. He's also shown up in spaces where he has been on major stages as a rapper and a performer. Just amazing. Just an amazing guy that we are bringing before you today. So what I want you to think about here is about your journey and the value of your experiences, the value of writing your story and rewriting your story, not for the headlines, not for the assumptions, not even about what else has gone on, the good, the bad, the shame, the guilt, the great. What I want you to think about, though, is the value of your story. What is it in your story that tells how you walk through life? And really, what is it in your story that brings you to a place where you can finally become aware of who you truly were meant to be? We're going to talk about that a little bit today. But, the man that we're talking about, Mr. Anson Watts, and I'm using his name before I get to his other name, and he's over there smiling. So let's go ahead and bring him in so we can talk about Granddaddy Souf. Yeah, you heard me. That's who we have today. So welcome to you. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm honored to sit with you today because I know that not only are you a former athlete and a former award-winning artist, but you're also a creative voice that is still moving and shaking in this space. You're also a creative voice that is still making a difference and who still has a lot to do, even though it looks like you've lived a full life. If someone were to stop and ask you, what have you done? When I did, hearing your story, I was just like, this is amazing. And what I want to pull out of this as we go through this entire interview today is really about how you came up during such a defining era in hip hop and how you were connected through the extended collective of the 3-6 Mafia, that a little bit, how you were an athlete in the time and space when music was shaping so many things. It was shaping the way that we thought. It was shaping the way we dressed. It was shaping the way that we experienced the world. Music in that era turned things around in so many lives, and it gave people hope that they didn't have before. And you were able to walk through that, and despite those navigating the detours and how your story could have ended up in so many different places, you're sitting here today, still writing, still producing, still doing things, still showing up and doing it so well. So let's talk a little bit about that. This interview is really not about us glorifying or demonizing a past, but it's really about the path that you've taken and how did you end up on this side of this journey. So I'm going to start with just asking you, first telling you thank you. Thank you for giving us time and space. But more importantly, thank you for being vulnerable enough to share your journey. Because ultimately, when we get done with this, what I'd like for people to understand is that no matter what turns your life takes, that you can end up on the other side. And you can end up on the other side having learned lessons from every stage of your life that make you better for today.
Right.
So with that being said, tell me a little bit about you. Who are you? Who is the man behind Granddaddy Souf?
I am a multifaceted dude.
Yes, you are. Yes.
One thing about it, I embrace challenges.
Yes.
I'm passionate about, new challenges. And my thing, I'm the type of person that I get bored with uniformity.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's like I'm always looking for something else.
Gotcha.
I don't believe in the word complacency. I just, it don't exist with me.
I got you. So
there's so many different ventures of my life. I'm not really a formidable person, So I just like I said, I embrace challenges and I'm always looking for new things. Always trying to step to new horizons.
Yes. I see that.
Although I am a man that, I've been a troubled man at times.
Mm-hmm.
I've been a man that's a scholar.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I was a an athlete at the highest peak.
Yes.
I've just put it like this. I've never given up, and I'm never going to give up.
I like that.
I wake up to try to reach higher plateaus every day. And I told somebody this about a week ago. I said, the day you born, right? You got your birth date, and then there's a hyphen.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you die, you're going to have a date there.
Yep.
So with me, that hyphen, I call it the dash. You got to live your dash.
That's right.
So I wake up and try to live my dash thoroughly. I mean, there's things, I'll do almost anything at least once. Almost. Not everything. But I'll do almost anything once.
Of course.
I like challenges. I like trying stuff.
Okay.
I'm a risk taker.
Okay. I can tell. I can tell. Yeah. I you know what? Honestly, I love experiences. And I can be in like so many different rooms of people. And I would like to think that I could connect with people in almost any facet of life. Yes.
You can take the most boring person and I probably can talk to them about, I might sit there and notice that they use a lot of big words. I'm like, oh, he's a linguist or she's a linguist, and then I can sit there and talk about the etymology of words and stuff because I'm a writer.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying?
Oh,
so
absolutely.
There's so many different things that can be talked about. I mean, I played football, baseball, basketball. I used to kickbox,
Everything.
It's a lot.
It is. You're a lot. You're multifaceted, as you said. And I love a lot of people talk about the dash at a funeral, but I love the fact that in this context, you're talking about it not as a poem that's read at a service, but honestly as your way of life. This is how you do life. You do life making that dash count.
That's right.
And understanding that no matter what happens, you have an opportunity when you wake up every day to live that dash again.
That's right.
And to make something happen. So I like that. When someone hears the name Granddaddy Souf, what do you hope they understand about the man behind that name?
It depends on who it depends on the psyche of the persons. If we talking about law enforcement, they gonna think I'm just some rebel. And I am a rebel. But I'm a rebel with a cause. Okay?
I like it.
If you're talking about a fan base that I've, created along the way, they know I'm the voice for the voiceless.
Yeah, I like that.
You get what I'm saying? So I say things that they want to say. Like, I got a term that I say I'm explicitly outspoken.
Yes.
So I'm very outspoken. Not necessarily mean I'm using the expletives in the process. I'm just saying like, I'm very brash. I'm very straightforward. People know this. I got that from Hurricane Priscilla.
Okay.
Which is my mother.
Hurricane
Priscilla.
Got it. I
call her Hurricane Priscilla.
I like it.
So I got that from my mother. She always taught me to be like very straightforward. Speak your mind. Well, she said speak your mind. I say speak your heart.
I like it.
I say speak your heart because your heart is unguided by thought.
Oh, that's good.
You normally just come out, whether it came out the right way. Mentally, you meant something. Maybe you didn't deliver it right. But when it came out, you meant what you said.
Yes, for sure.
You might have to polish it later.
Yes.
Whether it be an apology, I didn't mean to say it like this. Or, you know what? It didn't come out the way I meant to say it. But guess what? I got my point across.
Yeah.
You understood, right?
Right.
Okay, cool. Right. I'm cool with that. So I don't care if I offend some I do. So
yeah, selective in your offense. I love that.
My delivery is always going to be straightforward. I don't care who I speak with.
I love that.
I don't bite my tongue. I don't sell my soul.
I love that.
That's how I live my life.
I love that. I know especially now with so many people in the music industry, and I know that's one of your sweet spots is the music industry. So many people now, so much coming out about people who have sold their souls, but we're gonna navigate around that. It's enough for y'all to read about that, but it's enough for you to read about that. We don't have to tell you about that. But with that, I love the fact that you said you haven't sold your soul, which means, you know who you are and exactly. you know what's worth it and what's not. And so often when we are trying to find our space or trying to be relevant in a space that seems like everybody now is becoming so irrelevant. When you're trying to make your space, sometimes you feel like you have to sell your soul to be able to stand on certain platforms. And you've been able to use your voice, your platform, and your purpose to help navigate you through a lot of situations and a lot of scenarios. I heard you talk about it's very few people that will get on and have a conversation about being a linguist. And very few people, a lot of people don't even know what that means.
Words mean.
Well, exactly what it means. And the assumption a lot of times when you say you're talking about a rapper is that this is somebody who decided when they were 10 that they were going to be a rapper one day. And some made it, some didn't. Some 60 years old and still trying it. And, I'm not knocking anybody's dream, but I hope you got another job while you doing all that. But with that being the case, when did you decide that the athlete and the talent, athletic talent and the creative talent, when did you decide that those two people needed to also be a scholar? Because you're that as well.
Well, early, because my mom didn't play by the grades.
Okay.
She definitely didn't play by the grades.
Mm-hmm.
I remember being, let me give you an example of what I mean by that.
Yeah, go ahead.
When I was young, like real young, like as far as I can remember, early school, elementary school days. Say for instance, I used to be the type of kid, I would try to complete my homework in class, like while the teacher's still teaching the current day's study. She already gave out the homework, I'm in there. I'm trying to do my homework, so when I get home, I don't have homework, right? So I tried to multitask. I would pay attention to them. And I still do that kind of stuff to this day. I watch a movie and then I'm on my phone. If they say something, I'm in my phone and I'll Google something they say and I'm like researching what they're saying, checking the validity of it. I'll even check and see if it's based on true events. I'll even go back and read what was the final.
True events.
You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I'm there. I'm a scholar. I get it.
I'm still like that to this day. So while the teacher would be sitting in there teaching, I would do my homework so I can get home and say, my mom would say, whether she was there or not, when I came home, she's like, first, as soon as you get in, you do your homework.
Yep.
Then you do your house chores.
Yep.
So my thing was I wanted to come home and chill and go out the door and play.
Right.
Do my house chores and play. So I would try to do my homework right quick in school. But when I would get home, she'd say, you got homework? No, ma'am. I did it in school or something like that. So she'd check it. Or if she wasn't home, she'd say, I said, no, ma'am, I don't have homework. She said, yes, you do. Go in and get that dictionary and look up 4 words. Learn how to spell them, write them out 3 times. Tell me if it's an adjective, verb, noun, pronoun, whatever. And define them. I used to hate that.
Yes.
I used to hate that.
Yes.
But that contributed to later in life, I look back on that because to this day, I still do that.
Really?
I don't sit down and write out, but I'll look up where I have apps on my phone, word of the day and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I look up words all the time and I love the etymology of words. I love to look at where it came from.
Yep.
When was it founded, and things like that. I like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right? So I just got a mind that just likes the dig. I go down rabbit holes and almost every facet of life, I'm in a rabbit hole with something. You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
So
I'm clear.
That contributed to, educational wise, that contributed to early stages, continued stages through high school, even when I went to college. And to this day in my life right now, I'm still like that. As a matter of fact, when I got in some trouble and went to prison and was incarcerated, I was that same person. Like, when I went to prison, I said, look, I'm not going to prison, I'm going to college. I looked at this as an extension of my studies.
Gotcha.
And so I stayed in the library. In fact, my second job in there was working in the library.
Okay.
And then I became a teacher's assistant. My first job was in the dish room because normally you come in, that's where they put most people washing pots. So you go in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So, but when I got out of there, I started working in the library, went from the library, then I started working as a teacher's assistant. So, because while I was in there, I noticed there was some dudes that was, challenged educational wise. So I said, well, I want to help. I looked at it like, you know what? I know why I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
The act, I did that act. I'm here for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
But I just can't be here, being warehoused.
Right. Exactly.
I can't have a DC. My name, a DC number, and my body cannot just be here.
Right.
I got to do something. I got to contribute. To me, I felt like I was contributing to society, giving back to these young men, these gentlemen, whoever, teaching people how to read, helping people like learn how to act.
Yeah.
And so honestly, and I was a sociology major and I wanted to work with at-risk juveniles.
Yeah.
Because I had been in trouble when I was 15, 16.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So, and then being a sociology major and then coming in that place.
Right.
And I'm seeing a lot of the studies in the books. I'm sitting here looking at it. I'm looking at what these models they say.
Right.
And I'm, wow, okay. So I'm seeing the displaced father and I'm associating this with, the 80s crack era. And I'm watching this and I'm asking these older dudes, how long you been down? 15, 20 years? Golly. Then I started doing the math and I started saying, oh, crack era.
Yeah.
Start realizing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I'm really passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
Is because when you look at things like opioids,
Mm-hmm.
how they say it's a sickness, but then you criminalized the crack era.
Right.
And the difference between crack cocaine and powder cocaine was water and baking soda and heat. So you got doctors and attorneys and those of the upper echelon that was using powder cocaine and things of that nature.
Right.
And then you got crack cocaine was like a lower tier deal, but there was nothing added to it other than baking soda, water, and boiling it, and cooking it. That's it. But the sentences was a slap on the wrist for the doctors, the attorneys, the people that was buying that, whereas the lower income people was getting like criminalized so much for it.
Mm-hmm.
But then now we move into this era of the opioid crisis would affect certain demographics.
Yes, for sure.
And now it's a sickness.
Yeah.
Oh, their insurance policies will put you in treatments and things of that nature. And
and there was no treatment for crack.
There was no treatment for
crack. There was no treatment program for crack.
No, you're going to get 15, 20 years and all kind of stuff like that. And so, that's a whole nother, whole nother thing. But so some of this stuff come out of my music and like how I feel about some of these social ills and things like that. And I don't want to say it was a blessing because it definitely was not a blessing for me to go to prison.
Right.
But some of these things that I learned in college, but I grew up in a low income area. And then when I went to college, as a young kid, when I used to be out there trapping and, in the streets, I didn't realize the detriment and the harm that I was causing.
Wow. That's a good revelation.
Yeah. So now that I'm an older man, and I've been through so many different walks of life, I do see a lot of the continued harm that happens. I do.
And that's probably helps to drive that commitment that you have to sharing your message and ensuring that people understand that there is always a consequence to every decision. And it's what you then do with that consequence. Like you said, when you talk about being in prison and how you took the time and reframed it. You looked at it as an opportunity for you to grow, but then for you to also help other people grow.
That's right.
How were you able to before I ask that question, let's slide back a little bit. Tell me a little bit about what your journey has been, because when we're listening to you now and hearing this interview and people who know you and who have had the opportunity to spend time with you, one of the things that we hear is, okay, scholar because he's brilliant, writer, athlete, all kinds of things. Then we hear prison, artist, creative. And so how do all those things fall on the timeline for you? Like how did you get from one stage to the next? And what was navigating that like?
Well, thing is with me, I never stopped. As a matter of fact, let me give you a prime example before I get into that. Give you an example. So I used to own a restaurant in Orlando called Wheezy's Kitchen. My grandmother's name was Louise. So I named it after my grandmother, Wheezy's, because between her, my mom, my aunts, they taught me how to cook. I just wanted to name it after my grandma as to be like to pay homage to her, like things of that nature, right?
Gotcha.
So, I'm passionate about cooking. I love to cook, and so I still want to get back in the food industry in some form or fashion, and I want to do it big. But then my fiance was like, "Well, I know you think it's a step down from having a little restaurant."
Gotcha.
And I know you don't want to do this hot dog cart.
Gotcha.
But I'm telling you, and I had a couple partners that me tell, man, you need to get into the hot dog.
Get your.
So we bought a hot dog cart just last week.
Oh, good.
Just last week, right? We bought a hot dog cart. So, it's like, even though I got this hot dog cart now, on my way here, I was driving. I shouldn't be saying this. Driving, texting, right? I was at the red light.
You were at the red light. You were at the red light. My message came in while you were at the red light.
I text you, say I'm 6 minutes away.
Yep, you were at a red light. I
was on a conference call. Excuse me, I was on a phone call with a guy that's been in the trucking industry for 20 plus years. I'm trying to buy a box truck.
Gotcha.
So, that's been something I'm trying, because I did some work with FEMA last year, and I met these guys called themselves the Box Truck Brothers, and I followed them on YouTube, right?
Gotcha.
So I met one of the brothers, Box Truck Brothers, and I'm like, okay, and a lot of box truck stuff been like popping. I'm like, okay, cool. So I moved from Orlando to here, and this is the perfect place. Jacksonville, a lot of loads go out of Jacksonville going into, because of the ports,
right?
Going into South Carolina, Georgia, So then I'm like, man, I need to do this. I'm in the right market. So on the way here, I am holding a conversation with this guy about this box truck industry, and I'm coming to do this, right? But I also was talking to him about let me broker. Like I'm like all my hands, like I'm like an octopus. I describe myself as an octopus.
Gotcha.
Like I'm like this.
Gotcha.
Right?
Gotcha. Gotcha.
My attention span is short, but I still double back around to what it is I'm trying to do. I get bored with stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I'll dump a lot of myself into what I'm doing, and once I get it where I need to go, then I'm like on to the next thing. Now you're on
to the next thing. So how have you been able to? How has that translated into the path that you've had to walk, though, from being let's say your early years to where you are now? Which part of your journey would you say was the one that gave you the greatest challenge?
Challenge of the success, or just
challenge? Which was the hardest? What was the hardest part of the journey?
I feel like college was easy. I feel like sports was easy because college was easy because I felt like if I was struggling with something, it still was within my control. Whether I stayed out, spoke to a TA, spoke to the professor. Sports was easy because I can do more. If practice is over, I can stay late. I can come in early. I can work out on the weekends. All those things I felt like was on me. I think the only thing that was the hardest thing for me, the biggest challenge of my life was prison.
Okay.
And the reason why I would say that is because you're dealing with so many minds. People from different regions of the state. For sure. Different walks of life. Some people got aspirations and goals, and some people are inspired to try to leave and do better. But even while they're there, they're trying to find, how can I, not contribute to the recidivism rate and come back. Then you have those who, they don't care. They just like, hey man, I'm already on my, my 4th, 5th term, sentence. Coming in and out of here, and I made my mind up. This is what I'm gonna do. Gotcha. So when you're dealing with those type people, right?
Yeah.
You kind of in the middle of good, bad, right? Or care, don't care. And then you have the liaisons.
Yes.
Which is the officers. You got some.
Oh, I love that.
You got some that look at you like, I still see you as a person.
Yes.
Now you're here to do what the state say you have to do.
Yeah.
Don't give me no problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's expected of you.
Right.
I'll do my 8. I'll hit the gate.
Mm-hmm.
Those officers with that mentality,
Yes.
I could deal with them.
Gotcha.
But then you got some that come in, POSs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Those POSs, they'll come in and they want to make your life miserable.
Gotcha.
They feel like I'm the judge, I'm the jury, I'm everything, I'm over you. Say something slick, I'll slap you, I'll take you in the back room, and me and my officers will beat you.
Wow.
We'll mistreat you.
Wow.
So, because I'm a prideful man, you know, it's hard for me to bite my tongue.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard for me to bite my tongue. I ain't no punk.
Yeah.
And so it's hard. So that was one of the biggest challenges, because you got this bad side of the inmates that, you know, hey, I gotta let you know, because rules out here don't apply to rules in there.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You know,
understood.
we say we had to turn penitentiary rules in effect. It's completely different from out here.
Gotcha.
So, you know, I've talked to people and they say, well, my son, he keep getting in trouble. Every time I turn around, he's in the box. I'm like, what are you in the box for? Well, fighting. Well, sometimes you have to in there.
Fight, yeah.
You have to. I mean, it's just like, it's completely different, because I got something I always tell people. No matter if you're Chinese, if you're a Chinese person that don't speak English, if you're a Hispanic person that don't speak English, if you're an African person that don't speak English or understand English, one thing we got in common that everybody understands is violence.
Wow.
Violence is universally understood.
Wow. Wow.
It is universally understood.
Okay.
No matter what country you are in.
Okay.
So sometimes violence is necessary,
Understood.
depending on where you are. Because speaking to someone, you may not be able to get your point across to them to understand, like, bro, I'm trying to look, man. And sometimes you just got to show people what it is.
Gotcha.
So.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I would say my most challenged moment, most, you know, difficult time and challenging times would have been the incarceration.
Well, you had a lot of high points. I know we've spent some time talking about you in prison, but you've had a lot of high points.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of high points. Not everyone can say that they have experienced the things that you've experienced. I mean, so tell me a little bit about some of those high points.
Okay, well, let's start from the sports side.
Yeah, let's do sports. I
qualified for the 1996 Olympic trials.
Yes. In
the 400-meter hurdles.
Yes.
I finished third in the I finished third in the Pac-10 championships. I went to the University of Arizona. Now they call it the Pac-12, and I think they're about to dissolve the Pac-12. But colleges like, I graduated from University of Arizona. You had UCLA, USC, some of the more notable names that, you know, people know. Of course. Oregon back then, but not in a whole different conference. But Oregon State, some of these schools, just to throw names out there. But I finished third in the Pac-10 championships, qualified for the Olympic trials that year, broke the school record at the University of Arizona in the 400-meter hurdles.
Yes.
When I broke the record, to this day, I'm on the all-time list. I'm number 5 on the all-time list right now. When I broke the record, the guy's record I broke, he had it for 10 years. I broke his record. I kept it for 6 years. Somebody broke my record. Then a dude named Keith Varga, who currently owns the record there at University of Arizona in the 400-meter hurdles. But I'm on the all-time list.
Yes.
There's 10 people that can be on the all-time list. I'm number 5.
Gotcha.
And I've been out of college for a minute, for a long time. So
you're holding your own.
I'm holding my own.
You're holding your own. You got your spot. Your spot is locked. I got you.
I just pray whenever I leave this earth that I'm still on that all-time list.
You will be. You'll be on the all-time
list. I'm hoping they reach out to me for the Hall of Fame. I hope I get inducted into the Hall of Fame. I had a teammate recently from my high school teammate. He and we finished 1-2 in the state championships, track and field championships, our senior year. 1-2. He won. It was a photo finish. It was like a lean photo finish.
One lean short.
It was like one chest out. One chest out.
Oh,
a real good friend of mine, my boy Philip Riley, and he graduated from Florida State University, and he was inducted into Florida State's Hall of Fame.
So yours is coming.
I pray mine is coming.
It's coming.
I just want to give him a shout out because he called me and he said, "Hey, I'm being inducted into the Hall of Fame, man. You got to be there when I get in." So I went, and he actually during his, and I'm a Gator fan, right?
Yes, I'm clear.
Yeah, right.
I'm clear. You
and
better be.
And the crazy thing was, during him being inducted, he gave a little speech, and then he said, I'm here because this dude right here, because I gave him one piece of advice. We was at rival schools right at the time.
Okay.
I wasn't his teammate then.
Right.
Okay. I told him one thing. I said, man, you need to switch your blocks, bro, because I keep seeing you stutter step.
Coming out of the box.
He kept stutter stepping when he would get to the hurdle, but he was so fast, right? I would make a distance over him in between. He would catch me in between, but when we get to the hurdle, that's when I would so we was always like neck and neck.
Yeah.
And so I just told him one day, I said, bro, you need to change your hurdles, bro. Change your blocks.
Yeah.
And when he changed his blocks, changed his life. When I told him that, I've never beat him since to this day.
Oh, goodness.
And so he like, you got to be there. And at his induction, he said, Anson, stand up, Anson. He said, because that man right there, I'm here. I mean, that made me feel real good.
Yes,
real
it should
good,
have.
You know?
It should have.
And
I like that.
It was weird because, like I said, I'm a Gator fan. I was surrounded by all these Seminoles. And the crazy thing, I graduated from University of Arizona. So my partners, they'll see me like on game days or something. I'll go live and I'll have all my Florida Gator stuff up. And they'll hit me up like, man, what's up with all that Gator stuff, bro? You a Wildcat, bro. You went to Arizona. But, but I decommitted from the Gators, So, but I've always loved
you know how I feel about that. You know how I
know
feel
you a Gator.
Yeah, I know. You know how I feel about you decommitting from it. But I understand, but I know the story, so I get it. I understand why, but still. I'm a little salty about it. I'm still a little salty about that. But that's okay. That's okay. Go Gators.
That's right.
But so that was one of the high points. That was one of the high points is your time in college. And again, having heard your story about prison and then hearing the joy and the triumphs and things that you were able to do in your sport career and, all these accolades. Tell me about other high points. What were some other high points? And how did that guy that had all of these high points at that time, how did he end up in prison?
Well,
you don't have to tell us all.
You want me to elaborate on some more of the high points?
Yeah, I want you. I want you to elaborate on the high points, but I still want to know how did that journey, how did that guy end up in prison? So tell me about the high points.
I'll get to it.
Yeah.
So, have you ever heard of this attorney, Martin E. James or John Morgan?
Yes.
Okay. So John Morgan is a personal friend of mine. Martin E. James is my goddad.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Big time attorneys in Orlando, right?
Yes. So
when I came home from college, they was venturing into the world of sports business. So because I had just got out and I knew athletes at different schools, I became a bird dog for them, which they later gave me percentage in the company. It was called PAMG, Professional Athlete Management Group. And then we almost got into some trouble with the NCAA, which the NCAA got onto us because it was tampering with amateur athletics. Both of them being attorneys could have been disbarred.
Right.
So they completely stepped away from it. But Lamar Odom, who used to play for the Lakers, who was married to one of the Kardashians, Lamar Odom used to stay at my house.
Gotcha.
And he was to fly in every weekend to the point I just gave him a key. First, we used to put him in hotels. Then he started staying at my house. So he would stay, at my house all this time because we was going to represent him. So then, like I said, we got into some trouble with the NCAA. Almost. Well, we got red flagged. The company was dissolved. I got like a little severance pay, and then I kind of didn't know what to do at this point in time because I was living a higher lifestyle life.
Yes.
I'm like, I want to keep this lifestyle I got.
Right.
And I come from the hood.
Right.
And I'm like,
you got hood-like strategies and skills.
Right. And I'm like,
I know, I get it.
Ooh, I got back in the streets.
Okay.
I got back in the streets a little bit. Started a rim. Well, I didn't start it. A partner of mine started a rim store, and then I became partners with him. So we had a rim store in Orlando. It was called Showtime Rims and Accessories. It was near what was a popular place in Orlando called the Magic Mall. So he and I started doing that. Then I found out that he was doing a little bit more. And then I got involved with that, started putting my money in with him, and we was getting shipments from Texas, marijuana at the time, right?
Gotcha.
So I'm like, man, I'm getting this stuff for like $300 a pound out here in Texas.
Right.
And, making my money. And then that's how that kind of came about. But then I got out of that. And the money I had saved up, because I went and started working for AT&T Wireless. So now I got money saved up.
Right.
So I didn't take the money and go buy rims and tires and a whole bunch of candy paint and stuff like that. I took it because the goal was to always keep going up, but to do it illegally. I mean, to do it legally. To do it legally and not illicitly.
Right.
No illicit business at this point in time.
Right.
So I went and got another job. Went and worked for AT&T Wireless. Was working for them. Customer service, worked in their fraud department, et cetera. So I worked for them for almost 3 years. In the process, while I was working with them, I went ahead and started recording my album. And started studying Master P. I started studying Master P. I remember him saying he had $10,000 that was, I think, was inherited. He inherited, took that money, started him a record store, got into the music industry. So I took my money and tried to like get into the record industry. And I did. I started traveling to Jackson, Mississippi, working with artists and producers there. Started going to Nashville, Tennessee on my first album, and also Houston. So Nashville, Houston, and Jackson, Mississippi are the three markets that I credit for me learning the independent business, and then also watching Master P, who was from Louisiana. And then a good partner of mine from Orlando, he's publicly known as Dog Man. His real name is Darren Spencer, Dog Man. He was doing a lot of big stuff, had studios and stuff, so I learned a lot from him too. So I was able to come out with my first album. And in the process of us promoting it, I got arrested again, but this had nothing to do with narcotics. Now I'm far away from that. The guy that's the chief of Orlando Police Department right now, currently the sitting chief, Eric Smith, he and I, we, arch enemies. I got arrested on some bogus charges that he trumped up.
Wow.
And, so I don't have to lie about that because I've done my time, and that's years ago.
For sure.
But that is what inspired me to write my first hit record. That actually blew me up. It was called F the Law.
Yes.
And that's the record that got me my record deal with Sony.
Yes.
With Loud Records and Sony. And Steve Rifkin was the owner of Loud Records. Loud Records had artists like Wu-Tang, Mobb Deep, Big Pun, God bless the dead Big Pun. Funk Master Flex was on that label. 3 6 Mafia.
Yeah.
And Gangsta Boo and all of them was over there. So that's how I met them, was actually through my DJ Pro Style, who was on 102 Jams in Orlando. And he told Steve Rifkin them about me, and he called me. I was on my way to Tampa.
Gotcha.
To do a radio interview with a guy named Big Money Said. So on my way to Tampa, he calls me and said, "Hey man, what you doing?" I say, "I'm on my way to do an interview in Tampa." He's like, "Yeah, you need to be in Orlando right now because I got Steve Rifkin." I didn't know who Steve Rifkin was.
Right.
He's like, "Yeah, he's the CEO of Loud Records." I'm like, "Okay." I said, "You talking about the label?" Their label logo was a pair of headphones.
Yeah.
It said Loud. You remember?
Yeah.
It said Loud.
I remember.
And it had the look. So I was like, okay, I'm cool. I got you. But in my mind, I'm kind of like, got me some paper, bro. I got money. I'm making money independently. I'm like, I'm on my Master P thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got money. I'm these stores selling out of my music. I'm like, I'm good. I'm gonna stay independent. I said, well, if they there later, I'll meet them. He's like, no, you don't understand what I'm saying. They like your music. You need to come meet with them now.
Yeah.
So I said, all right, cool. I'm gonna do the interview when I come. No, you're gonna have to cancel the interview. You need to come now. Because they were supposed to leave.
Okay, gotcha.
So I called Big Money, said like, hey man, I need to reschedule this interview. I gotta go back to Orlando, Go back, meet them. They say, yeah, we were gonna fly out, but we're gonna stay. Pro say he's DJing tonight at this club, Headlights, out by UCF. And he and DJ Nasty, we gonna come check you out tonight. All right, boom. So I go to the club, I meet them. You ever heard of a comedian named Paul Mooney?
Have not.
He used to write all the Richard Pryor jokes. When you get a chance, Google him.
I will.
And you've probably seen him now that I've said his name. So Paul Mooney, now that I said his name and you look him up, Paul Mooney's son name is Shane Mooney. Shane Mooney was my A&R. He was an A&R for them. I hadn't signed with them yet. So Pro Style played the record, he teased it, and the crowd started to get hype. He bring it in. The record didn't play more than 20 seconds, and Steve Rifkin got off the stage, came over to me. Hey, what are you doing next week? It's the CEO of the label.
Yeah.
I said, I don't know what's up. Can you come to New York? I'm like, probably can. Why? What's up?
Mm-hmm.
We want to fly you to New York next week. He had his VP with him. His name is Gabi Acevedo. Gabi's brother, his name is Nelson, was 50 Cent's manager at one time.
Okay.
So he was like, we want to fly you to New York. I said, all right, cool. Still in my head,
You good. Yeah. I
wasn't like, because I'm looking at the money I'm making as an independent artist.
Mm-hmm.
So I really wasn't like,
Yeah.
I really wasn't. All right. I went up, started talking about it. Okay, cool. They's like, you got an attorney? I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I lied and told them, yeah, I got an attorney.
Uh-huh.
So, but I had been interviewing attorneys, but I hadn't hired one yet.
Gotcha.
I interviewed Donald Passman, who was Lauryn Hill's attorney at the time. I interviewed Phaedra Parks from ATL Housewives, but there was no ATL Housewives then.
Mm-hmm.
And I interviewed another attorney. I can't remember his name. And I decided to go with Phaedra.
Mm-hmm.
And Phaedra negotiated my contract. And I was there with Loud and Sony. And then some things happened with the last Wu-Tang album that came out over there. I can't remember if the budget was $1.5 million or $2 million or something. But it flopped. It didn't. I don't think it flopped because of the creativeness. I think it flopped because of what was going on in the world.
Mm-hmm.
We had 9/11 that had just happened.
Yeah.
When that album came out. So labels start scrambling.
Mm-hmm.
They start streamlining, getting rid of people, dissolving, labels.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these, subsidiary labels that was under some of the larger umbrellas. Like you got Sony and then you had Universal.
Yeah,
and then you had
gotcha.
labels under them.
Gotcha.
So they start getting rid of a lot of them. And I think that became the priority. Is like, how we gonna keep our jobs? We got to downside. We got to start. So a lot of people start getting cut, released from, So I got released from Loud and Sony.
Okay.
Steve Rifkin asked me to hang around and hang out with him. Just let's see what happens, man. I think I'm about to close a deal, man. I'm really close on closing this deal.
Gotcha.
So I hung around and I told him, I said, well, I'm going to need some money in the meantime.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to do nothing illicit.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to need some money in the meantime. I gave him he said, well, give me how much money it takes you a month to live. I padded it a little bit because of emergency situations. I do have vehicles,
right.
So gave that to Phaedra. Phaedra sent that to him. They cut her check. Boom. They sent it to me. Boom. Now I'm able to and they gave me money to record because I still need to have money to go to the studio. So for almost a year, I wasn't signed, but I was waiting on him.
But you were financed.
I was financed.
Gotcha.
So I sat around for that, it took about 11 months. He closed the deal. Then he called me. He's like, hey man, deal's done. We're going with Universal Records. All right. So now he changed the name from Loud to SRC. Okay, Street Records Corporation.
Gotcha.
So now it's Street Records Corporation. I was supposed to be the flagship artist. That's how he signed me under those pretenses, right? So my album was supposed to come out first. It didn't. They came out with David Banner first.
Okay.
So they went with David Banner first. So, but I was the first artist signed. David Banner was the second artist signed. Then they signed a guy named Ricochet from Detroit. Then they signed Akon.
Okay. Gotcha.
So all of us was like the first 4 artists. And they also brought on Melanie Fiona.
Okay.
Later they brought her on. And et cetera, and different artists. So things just didn't work out. From 03 to, my album didn't come out to 07.
Okay.
From 03 to 07, all I did was just go to workshops, clinics, DJ record pools, and just kind of, did my thing. Around 06 is when I got with 3 6 Mafia.
Okay. Gotcha.
And during that process that's what they did, the movie Hustle and Flow. And they was awarded.
And I was going to say, and?
Got the Oscar for
I was gonna say, come through. Got
the Oscar for the movie Hustle and Flow.
Yeah, I was gonna say, come on next. Let's say it. Let's say the words. Let's say the words.
I was with them during that time period. It was a blessing. It was working with 3 6 Mafia was like I learned a lot working with Paul and Juicy. I learned so much working with them. I mean, like say for instance, this room, they be making a beat, one person recording a verse immediately once they done. 2 or 3 people in another room writing downstairs, whatever.
Right.
Our studio was at 201 Poplar, was right next door to the jail in Memphis, right? So, I mean, it was just like just seeing that machine that they had for themselves was a blessing just to see that. And it taught me how to move faster.
Right.
So I started doing the same thing.
See, I want to jump in here for a second. One of the things that I want to point out is that sometimes you have to put yourself in a position to know how great you are, but still be willing to learn from other people. And sometimes it's hard when you have pride that won't let you capitalize on the situations that you're put in. So sometimes it may look like it's a bad situation or you're not sitting on top of the world at the moment, but often you're put in those spaces so that you can look at what's happening around you and learn the systems that you need. So when you get there, you don't have to, that's not a learning period for you. So in moments of pause like that, or moments that seem like pause, that is the best time for you to look around and figure out what can I learn while I'm sitting here? Because you're in the room for a reason.
Yeah.
You're not just in the room to be in a room. You're in the room for a reason. So if you're in the room and it's not your room yet, perhaps you're in there to learn something. And if you would take that mentality instead of saying, you know what, this ain't my big shot. This ain't, all this stuff. Why them, not me? Why all of these questions that keep you stagnant instead of sitting there and looking around the room and saying, you know what? I could be learning something during this time because you're sitting here anyway. So why not learn something? So I love that about your story because you've mentioned it multiple times and talked about how you took whatever situation you were in and you learned something. And I try to tell my audience all the time, if you are willing to learn, there's always something that's willing to be your teacher. You just got to be willing to learn.
That's right.
You got to be willing to learn. But anyway, go ahead with your story.
That's real. You got to suck it up. Soak it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you learned a lot from while you were in that scenario or in that space with these big names. Right. I mean, you're a big name. Right. You're a big name on your own, but you're talking about even walking into places and with other big names. So you're rubbing elbows with the right people, but you're still in a posture of, I'm great, but I'm learning. I'm
great, I'm learning, and the whole purpose is to get greater.
Yeah.
And accomplish all around greatness.
Yeah.
And, I have a thing that I say, like, the more you network, the less you sweat work.
Oh, that's good. I'm stealing that.
Yeah.
You heard it here first, and I'm stealing it. Yes.
The more you network, the less you sweat work.
I love that. I love that.
Because like in my industry, in the music industry, it's like you'll walk into a room, so much, I think I'm finna pronounce this word wrong again. It's not machismo. It's when you're macho.
Yeah.
It's not machismo. I just discovered I had been pronouncing it wrong for a lot of years.
That's all right. That's okay. We're going to figure it out, though.
I'm saying, like, we so, like, tough and egotistical men. Like, we walk into a room and it's like somebody might introduce me to this guy. Like, hey, what's up, bro? How you doing? Cool. What's up, bro?
Yeah.
And then we'll sit off in a corner.
Yeah.
Not me.
Yeah.
But
people.
Yeah.
People we know.
In my industry, it's like that.
Yeah.
And we'll sit back and, not me. So you got me and you got we.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? This me.
Yes,
okay?
I got you.
You know what I mean? You turn, you understand what I'm saying? You got the
got
M down, you got the W. I'm the M. Okay? So me, what I'll do is I'll walk into a room, I'll make sure I make my presence known and meet as many people as possible. You never know who you're sitting next to, standing next to, who knows who.
Right. Like us.
None of that, right?
Like sitting in the store.
Exactly. Like you and I.
That's right.
And like, to me, I felt like I've never met a stranger.
Yes.
Like I'll talk to somebody. You and I, we stood there, we was waiting on the chicken. We sat there, we talked. We started conversing. We looked at each other, spoke. Okay, boom. And then we started talking.
Yep.
And then it went from there and, hey, you know what? You should come on my podcast.
Yep, that's it. That's it.
But you never really know what somebody knows. You can never judge a book by a cover.
For sure. No
matter, a gift. Like I always use this right here. Like I could never wrap gifts. I used to be terrible. I used to try to wrap gifts. It used to be raggedy looking. Then somebody can come in and wrap a box nice and neat and pretty, but my raggedy box could be wrapped so ugly, but you don't know what kind of gifts inside that box.
For
you
sure.
Get what I'm saying? So, that principle still applies to like when you walk into a room, you know, just at least be open to meet people. Like me, I do have a side of me that's a social butterfly.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
for sure.
Then, you know, in my industry, guys be like, I ain't friendly. And I'm like, yeah, I probably don't want to deal with this person right here.
Right.
So I'm already like deciding who I'm going to like continue or extend the handshake with. You know, we walk into a room. Hey, how you doing, brother? All right, cool. What's up, bro? All right, cool. Yeah. And if I feel that energy, I know I'm going to extend that handshake. I have a thing that I've been doing for over 20 years. When I go into some of these networking shops, people pass out cards. We'll give out our flyers that's promoting our music or whatever. And when you hand it to me, if you hand it to me and just walk off, I'm going to just throw it in my bag with the rest of them. If you hand it to me and we sit there and talk and, man, da-da-da-da-da-da, and we at least have somewhat of an introduction, all right, I'm going to keep in touch. I tear it. I will tear it. So when I throw it in the bag, when I go through the bag, all the ones that's been torn a little bit, that's my way of saying, oh, I mean to keep in touch with these people. Right. And I was just cleaning out some stuff in my garage the other day, right? Going through these boxes and boxes of lyrics and boxes of stuff. And I found cards that got little tears on them. And a lot of that other stuff didn't. I threw that stuff away. I kept those cards. Now, I haven't talked to these people in probably 15 years. But I'm still going to look them up. And just be like, hey, man, what's up? You remember me? Whatever. Just a double back. Because who knows what they're doing now. And who knows if they've witnessed my rise over the years and maybe they lost my information. And maybe they'll say, yeah, man, I'm glad you reached out, bro. I was trying to get in touch with you.
Yeah.
You just never know.
You never know.
Yep.
You never know. And I love the fact that you are so transparent when you talk about the feelings behind a lot of that, because you're saying in your industry, but I'll tell you, I'd venture to say with women, a lot of that happens too, where you walk in and I just wrote a book about it. It's just dropped. The book just dropped about the very same thing. And sometimes you have no idea how people can leverage what they know and help you to go further faster.
That's right. Because
you just choose to be kind and open up and have a conversation. And I was talking to a guy. I was speaking at a conference in Chicago a few weeks ago, and I was speaking to a guy there, and he said something to me that made me really think about how important it is to continue to push my message out, which is around permission to love yourself has been granted, but also the power of community and the power of networking and the power of letting your guard down enough so that you can see the beauty in the people that are around you. And one of the things that he said, he was like, you know what? I would love to introduce you to a lot of women. He said, but if you notice, I've been introducing you to a lot of men. And I'm like, yeah, why is that? You know, whatever. He said, because women, y'all don't act right. He said, I introduce you to another woman, and when you walk off or when she walk off, something has happened. And I don't know what it is.
Nonverbal.
Right. He's like, and I don't even know what it is. And I have to ask her, you know, what just like, why did you just treat her like that? Or why did you say you don't give out your phone number and just email me or talk to my assistant? If I'm bringing this person to you, I'm bringing them to you because this is somebody I want you to connect with. But you went all down this road about your assistant and all this other stuff, but you call me every day. You know, you got time. Why does that happen? And he asked me, he said, why does that happen with women? And I told him, I said, I wish I knew. I said, I have a theory. I wrote about it. I've done research on it for now over 10 years, been researching that phenomenon because that's exactly what it is. And a lot of people like to reduce it to something like a crab mentality, but it's so much deeper than that. I think the crab mentality gives us a scapegoat. It allows us to be able to say that, oh, there's a reason for it, but that's not it. That's not it. Sometimes people are not just trying to pull you down, even when you're down already and you're already on their level, or there's opportunities for you to rise together. Just some people are not interested in seeing and certainly not helping or facilitating your growth. Some people just aren't interested in doing that. They are more comfortable with you, with the lesser version of you, than they are with anything that they can imagine you would ever be. And because their imagination takes them to a place that may cause you to be elevated over where they are, they'd rather not take the risk. They'd rather not take the risk.
That's sad.
It is sad. It's a sad, sad, sad situation. But it's one that, again, through research has been proven time and time again.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you hear it. I know you see it. You just talked about it a little bit. But that is one of those things that is really sad. It's hurtful, especially in a time like this when we are in such desperate need of community. And we are in such desperate need of supporting ourselves and pulling ourselves up, not by our bootstraps, because, you've heard the saying, it's easy to do that when you got boots. But for us to be able to hold each other up, and to, when somebody opens a door, help somebody else come through it. There's such this dynamic that freezes people, almost freezes them in a place of dysfunction. And it's sad because not only are you limiting what you could get from that, but you're limiting other people because you want assist. And as though that somehow means that you're less, or they could somehow be more, see more, get more, not understanding that if you are the catalyst for their growth, don't you think that they'll be the catalyst for yours? So you can create these reciprocal relationships, or you can continue to do what we do. And that is, that's a shame. That's just a shame.
The principle of reciprocity is
yes.
One of those deals that you can only see it come back. You can only see success come back 360.
Yes.
So I believe in the principle of reciprocity.
I love it too. So one of your recent songs, let's talk about Because of You. That's I love that song. I love it.
That's my baby.
Listen, I've been playing that song since you shared it with me. And I know it's on iHeartRadio. It's something, but it's a tribute to your grandmother. Tell me a little bit about that song and how you came to that place to write that song.
So my grandmother was like my everything.
Yeah. Mine too. I get it.
That's my baby. Like my mama, I love my mom, but when Hurricane Priscilla be about to whoop me when I was little, my grandma said, "You ain't gonna whip him over here. 9803 West Livingston Street. You are not gonna whip him over here. Take him over to 404 West South Street. You're not gonna whip him here." So my mama I used to hate when she used to say that though, because my mama said, "That's all right. I'll take him home and whip him." Oh my God.
Yeah,
like it was worse.
Got even worse.
Yeah.
Got even worse.
So, but my grandmama taught me so much. Like that was my girl. That's her and my granddaddy. Those was my people there.
Gotcha.
But my grandmother, she was from Gainesville, Florida.
I know.
She her maiden name is Louise Gainey.
Yes.
And the Gainey lineage there in Gainesville is a lot of people there.
Mm-hmm.
But she was the only one of her siblings that left the Gainesville area and moved to Orlando. So my grandmother was a little faster though. Right? She liked to play cards. She gamble all night playing tonk, and she go to the dog track, highlight.
Ocala highlight.
No, she used to go to in Fern Park, right outside of Orlando.
Yes, right.
I'm sure she did because she's from Gainesville.
Look, everybody went to Ocala highlight.
Yeah, I'm sure she went. I'm sure she did that too. And went to the dog track over in Daytona and stuff, So my grandmother, I think I learned a lot of hustle from her and my mom, between them two. Like my grandmama had that she used to save cans, aluminum cans. So she would save the cans up, take the cans in, and then boom, when she gets her cash out, boom, highlight, and then she go flip that money from the highlight. Like she always had that hustle about her,
Got you.
And it almost seemed like I couldn't do no wrong with her, right? So I'm her oldest grandson, not her oldest grandchild, but her oldest grandson.
Son, yeah.
And so that's who started teaching me how to cook. And I never forget, first time I was cooking some eggs. Called myself trying to cook some eggs, right? I think I was 7 years old trying to scramble the eggs and try to rush and make it to because I was gonna make an egg sandwich and head out to school.
Right.
So I used to see her open the big side of the pepper and shake it and could get it just right.
Right.
So I tried to do it and all the pepper
fell out. See?
So my grandmama stepped in, she just stepped in the kitchen right as I did it. And she looked and she said, boy, and you gonna eat every bit of it. Right? So I was trying to scoop it out with a spoon. She like, scramble it with she made me eat that hot
egg too.
Oh, I'm telling you, it looked like the eggs turned green, right? Because it was so much black pepper.
Yep.
So she made me eat them eggs like that. So she said, I'm gonna teach you. Ain't nobody tell you to come in here messing with that. So but it was like, but as I got older, my grandmother, like I say in the song, she had never flown before. And when I went to college and got my degree, she told me, if you graduate from college, I'll get on that plane and come see you. And she did.
Awesome.
My baby came to see me. And so when she got sick, so the song kind of came about because when she got sick, she used to complain about a pain in her side. And I used to tease about that all the time. Then one day, she said the pain started moving to her lower back. So she went to the doctor and then they did some tests, Then they said she had cancer. And they gave her I think something like 5 or 6 months to live.
Wow.
And she ended up passing within 2.5 months.
Yeah.
But during that time, I used to live from my house to her house was probably about 30 minutes. And my Aunt Karen my aunt, they live together. So my aunt would leave, go to work, and say for instance, something like your cup. So my aunt would leave her a big cup full of ice and water with a straw in it. And then, of course, the ice would start melting a little bit. So she would leave 5 in the morning to go to work. And then I would come over there around 7, but I say about 8, 9 o'clock. I'll fix her breakfast. This was before she had to go to eating just the insure stuff, whatever. I'll ask her, what you want, Grandma? I'll fix her breakfast and stuff like that. Sometimes I had to help bathe or walk her to and from the restroom, stuff like that. And then I was at the Source Awards in 2003. A good friend of mine, another platinum artist, my boy named Petey Pablo. Petey was in town coming to meet me, and we was going down to Miami for the Source Awards. And I'll never forget the night before he got there to me, my aunt called me and said, she not looking too good.
Gotcha.
Before we could make it through the night, maybe 5, 6 hours after that, she called back and said, when the phone rung, I think it was 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. When she called me, when I seen her name on the screen, my heart dropped.
Yep.
Because I kind of knew what it was. And I didn't want to answer it. And when I answered it, I said, what's up, Karen? She said, she gone. I said, she gone? God, I just felt it. And I got up immediately, started working on the song. But before my grandmother passed, Petey Pablo got a chance to come in the room and talk to me. I told him, I said, man, my grandma's not doing too good. And he was like, man, I want to meet your grandma. So I took her in her room. She's, in her bed. She was still conscious, And he told her something that I put in the song. It was the last thing I said in the song. He held her hand, he rubbed her hair. She had, we were, our people Native and Black, so she had that nice, soft, gray, whitish hair. And he rubbed her hair and he's like, Grandma, you might be trying to hold on for your kids, but baby, if you need to rest, go on and rest because your work is done here.
Yeah.
And so I say that in the song. I said, you no longer have to worry. Your work is done here. I remember him saying that to my grandmama. And that's the last thing I wrote in the song. I wanted to close that song with that. And
gotcha.
We left, me and, after she passed or whatever, I wrote the song. I performed it at the funeral. A good friend of mine named Dale Babb up in Nashville, Tennessee, I told him what I wanted to do. He sung the chorus for me. And I said, I want to put Anthony Hamilton on this record. And at the time, we had got a quote from Anthony Hamilton's management. They said they could do the record for $10,000. My A&Rs, I'm kind of drug their feet on the situation. Next thing I know, his record coming from where I'm from, coming from where I'm from. When that blew up, it charted so much.
Right.
That 10,000. Next thing I know, I think it's like 30,000. They wanted for the song, right?
Yeah,
I'm like, good Lord. I'm like, because I'm thinking like, we got to pay for the record. I still got to mix it. I got to pay for studio time. I got to mix it, record it. You know what I mean? Master it. And I just said, you know what? I asked my boy Dale. I said, Dale, because all he did was a skeleton. He didn't do any riffs, harmonies, none of that. He did a few harmonies, but he didn't like a lot of riffs and stack the vocals. He didn't do none of that.
Gotcha.
He just like laid kind of like what we call a reference when we write for other artists. You do a reference and then they can take it and add their own toppings
Stuff
on
to
it.
Right?
Yeah. Like a pizza.
Gotcha.
You put your pepperoni, put your sauce on it,
right?
And then you start adding toppings.
Right.
So we just did the bare minimum. So then I said, bro, can you just go ahead and finish it? And he finished it. And he killed it.
Yeah.
He killed it. I mean, and that's one of my favorite records. And in fact, I'm shooting a video next weekend.
Oh, okay.
Next weekend.
I like it.
That's one of them deals like, while I'm here still living my dash, I cannot leave planet Earth without
finishing that.
A video installment for that.
For that, yep.
You know?
Yep. Look for me in the video. Look for me in the video. Look for me in the video.
You coming to Orlando? Because we shooting in Orlando.
Look for me in the video. Even if I have to run through it like this, look for me in the video. Look for me in the video. So yeah, I'm since
I'm glad you like it.
Yes. Since you wouldn't let me sing it, you saw my audition. I don't know why you act like that.
Hey.
Yeah, but that's okay. I know you needed a male.
Stephanie Mills.
I know you needed. Listen, but you saw it though. Don't act like you didn't hear those vocals. You heard it.
You did your thing.
Yeah, I know I did.
Car, shower, singer.
But it was good.
Nah, you did your thing.
It was good. Now tell the truth.
You held your notes.
See, I'm trying to tell.
You had your notes.
See, I'm trying to tell you. See? Y'all better listen. You better listen. So I'm going to ask you this. What is something people assume about being in the spotlight that isn't true? Because so many people I talked to, I was a middle school principal. I was high school. I worked in school administration for a lot of years. And with that, everybody sees the glamorous side and they make a lot of assumptions about being in the spotlight. So what's one thing about being in the spotlight that is glamorized, but it's really not true?
Well, I think people, because you have so many people that's what I like to say, attention junkies.
Yes.
And I think everybody wants, a lot of people, I ain't gonna say everybody, I hate to use the word, but a lot of people, a large percentage of people want to be known because so many people, there are a lot of people that have low self-esteem.
Yes.
And I think some people, think that's what validates them.
Right.
Is being popular and accepted. I don't care about none of that. Yeah. I don't do the popular thing.
Gotcha.
Honestly, my career should be a lot bigger than what it is from the music industry.
Yeah, because you're good.
But thank you.
Good.
But it's some things that I just won't do. Again, I won't sell my soul and my a-hole. And it's like, not saying everybody walk that path, but a lot of people have done things that, I just won't do.
Right.
Because Granddaddy Souf is a name I made, which is my pseudonym, right? But Anson Watts is who I am.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be Anson Watts forever. I was Anson Watts before I was Granddaddy Souf. So I'm never gonna do anything that jeopardizes my respect, dignity, or anything like that.
Gotcha.
I'm not gonna do that.
Gotcha.
So some people, they need that. They need that validation from others.
Exactly.
I don't care about. You hear people say all the time, I don't care what nobody think. I really truly don't. Honestly, I don't.
Right.
I really don't.
For sure.
I mean, I'm one of them ones.
And that gives you a different type of freedom. When you can free yourself from the need for validation from other people, it gives you walk different. Yeah. You talk different, you think different, you move different. Yeah. Because when you can free yourself from that and you are not tied to the need to be validated, and often we want to be validated by people we don't even respect.
Some people don't care nothing about you.
Right. What? Right. You're gonna be the latest story and the latest thing and then not. And that's it. They talk about you for 5 minutes.
That's right.
And then the next thing comes, the next big thing, the next hot thing, the next thing they want to deal with comes, and you're no longer in that position. So if that's what you constantly have to fight for, to stay in the eyesight or stay in the view or have the approval of people who really and truly don't contribute to your life and don't add anything to your day-to-day.
No value at all.
No value at all.
Don't contribute nothing.
Why is that so important? Once you realize that you ask yourself, why is it so important? And you figure out that it's not, you can let your show, like you literally can breathe. You sit back, you walk different, you talk different, you feel different because you have realized that your validation, that has to be something that you have. You validate you. You validate you. You're validated. It because the thoughts and views and opinions of everybody else, they're fleeing.
Right.
They might like you today and not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow.
So you can't count on that. You can't count on that. And that certainly can't be your goal in life, is to gather the approval of people. And often we spend time wanting the approval of people we don't even like or respect. Just because they're loud and out there.
Yeah.
Just because they're loud and out there.
I don't care nothing about it.
Me either. Me either. And that was the most liberating thing for me when I decided, you know what? I don't even really care. Yeah. And I had to ask myself the tough question because it's hard. It's hard to get there in a lot of cases because you're just continue to think you need the validation of other people. But what I'll say to you is that is so unimportant in the big scheme of things. When you start thinking about the value of your life and the worth of your purpose and how important it is for you to do what you have been called and conditioned and developed to do, it doesn't involve the validation of people who may not ever understand that. And they weren't created to, because a lot of times it's not even that we need them to make the path to help your purpose flourish. So when it doesn't align, it's easy to let go. It's easy to say, you know what, if you're honest with yourself, self-reflective, and you're willing to evaluate very clearly your why do I need you to give me a nod? Why do I care if you saw my post? Why do I care if you listen to what I said?
Oh my God.
Yeah, why do I care about that? Yeah. I don't care. I don't care. People ask me like, did you see my post? Did you see my post? And I'm like, I wasn't even on social media today. They're like, oh, you posted? No, my assistant posted something for you. It's my content, but it's scheduled. So I may not even have been on social media today. Yeah. But do know that, if it's something you want me to see, send it to me. Yeah. Let me know, and then I'll take a look at it. But me just scrolling to look to see what a bunch of people saying today, I ain't got that kind of time. Yeah. I just don't have that kind of time. My purpose is not aligned with that. So I don't spend my energy trying to look to see what's right or wrong with you, because then it puts a sense of responsibility on me that I need to do something to intervene in some way. And I just don't need that. Right. Or it's entertainment. And once I realize that you do stuff for entertainment purposes, I got to figure out now, do I have time to be entertained by you? And generally it's not. Generally it's not. Generally I don't.
It may not be part of my scheduled program.
Right. And generally it's not. Generally it is not. Well, I'm going to ask you just one more question. And then I'm going to ask you my hot round questions, which has nothing to do with anything. It's just what I do. So beyond the artist, when the lights go off and you're out of the spotlight and you home just chilling. What part of you, who are you in that space? Who are you in that space outside of the spotlight when you're not having to be Granddaddy Souf, when you're not having to be, the scholar, and when you're not having to be the almost Hall of Fame athlete is coming. Hall of Fame athlete. When you're not having to do all of those things, who is that guy that just sitting home?
Well, since my kids are all adults now. Yeah. I'm a cook. I'm a contractor because I'm doing stuff around the house all the time.
Yes.
I just like to chill and relax and have my drinks.
What brings you peace?
What brings me peace? Vibing to music, just listening to music, mainly instrumentals. Instrumentals more than hearing other people's words.
Gotcha.
Because
I like that.
I get a chance to like, music is actually my counselor.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I got it.
That's
Okay.
you know, that's my therapy. So when I listen to instrumentals, it's almost like listening to jazz with no words.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know how you listen to jazz? Have you ever listened to jazz?
Oh yeah.
You know how you listen to jazz and let's say you're driving, you're listening to jazz.
Mm-hmm.
You're on a road trip. Probably makes the road trip even more peaceful
Yes, for sure.
because you look at the trees. Some kind of way you kind of painting a picture,
Mm-hmm.
listening to that beat,
Mm-hmm.
that saxophonist, whoever,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and now you're applying it to what you're seeing,
Yeah.
the visual of it,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So it's the same thing
Make
with
your own video.
right. It's the same thing with me. So when I listen to an instrumental, I get to like download some of the things in my head, and I
Mhm.
start probably go in the room and grab a pad and start writing, jotting thoughts down. I got this obsession with sitting out by my fire pit.
Mm-hmm.
I go out by the fire pit in the backyard and I'll get me some drink and go out there and I light me a fire and I sit by the fire pit and I start writing, and
Gotcha.
that's peaceful to me.
Gotcha. I'm a water
And
person.
then fishing. I like.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good. That's good to know. That's good to know. That's good to know.
Yeah.
So what is your legacy? What do you want to leave behind when you're no longer Granddaddy Souf? What message do you want to leave?
I hate to use the whole cliche thing, but I did it my way.
Okay. I love that. Yeah.
I did it my way, and I make no apologies about how I did it.
Okay.
That's pretty much how it is.
Okay.
You know,
All right.
because I'll say something to somebody, like I may comment, like we just talked about posts. I might comment on somebody's post, and I'd be like, "Hey, you know, you doing your thing," and make no apologies about it.
Right.
And so I make no apologies about how I've lived my life.
I like that.
You know.
Okay. Okay. Good. Good. That's good
So
stuff.
as far as my legacy,
Yeah.
like people they gonna know he did it his way.
He did it his
Definitely.
way.
He did. He definitely did it his way.
He did it his way.
I did not conform.
I love that. Listen, did not conform or perform in that way. Gotcha. Y'all know what the people saying. Y'all know what the people saying. So, last question is, what's next for you?
Well, some of everything. I told you I'm an octopus.
Yes.
Some of everything, like, well, other than my continued music career, my little hot dogs. I ain't gonna say little because we finna do some things.
Yeah.
Because the dude that's been mentoring me, he make like $600,000-700,000 a year. So yeah, we gonna take the hot dog thing and
Yep. Turn. I got you.
I gotta finish this little venture with the guy with the box trucks.
Yep.
And then probably a couple Airbnbs.
Okay.
Outside of now, I'm kind of getting into. I'm probably about. This is probably maybe 2-3 years out, but learning on what tug ships are, tugs. So probably gonna be a broker for tug, between tug and a company. I won't say that company's name.
Yeah. Right.
Because the person that's helping me with it, that kind of would not be in their favor for.
Yeah, of course. No, we don't need names. We don't need names.
But yeah.
I got it.
So
okay.
Be a broker and broker deals between tugs
and that company.
And this big company.
Got it.
It's a linguistics company.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's good stuff.
So I'm still learning that. I'm in the infant stages of that, but I'm learning that.
I love the fact that you are learning before you jump into things, because so often we do it backwards. We start jumping and then we're like, oh shoot, I don't know what I'm doing. I probably need to learn something.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's you're already there.
Yeah.
There.
So
and
who knows? I might talk to you 3 weeks from now. And who knows what I might be doing? Because I just believe in doing some of everything. If it sounds attractive. It don't necessarily always got to be lucrative, but if it sounds attractive and I can make something out of it, and it's a challenge. I like challenges. If I can find and it's a challenge, I'll probably dibble and dab with it.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. What's one thing, I lied, I said that was my last question. This is the last question. What's one thing that you would tell a young person right now who, let's say, and let me quantify that a little bit by saying, what would you tell a high school student who, let's make it even personal. My nephew he will be turning 18. He's a high school senior, and he'll be turning 18 on Sunday at the time of this recording. He'll be turning 18 on Sunday. What would you tell him as he tries to navigate this world and getting ready to graduate from high school, and he's in this era as a young man? What would you tell him? What would be a message? What message would you send to him and people that are like him?
That you can do anything you want to. Life has no ceilings.
Like it.
And that, you hear people say, the sky's the limit. I completely disagree.
Uh-huh.
How can you say that when it's footprints on the moon? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
gotcha.
I say live your life with no ceilings.
I love it.
And don't feel that you got to be boxed in. Don't feel like the world is uniform. You do what you need to do and do what you feel you want to do. If people some people going to try to discourage you, but whatever it is that you want to do, that's what you want to do. Can't nobody tell you what you want to do and whether or not you can achieve that or not.
Right.
You know, and people say, oh, what's the chances? What you mean? If it's one out of, it can happen.
Yep. I love that. Yep.
That's pretty much it.
I always say when it's one out of, that means it's one.
That's right.
So who says it can't be me?
Why
not me, right?
Exactly.
Why not me? So
exactly.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. That's always my philosophy is as long as there's an opportunity, as long as first is available, why take second? You can,
I like
second?
that.
Why can't listen? Why take
like
second
that.
when first is available? That's my theory. That's
like that.
That's my philosophy.
I'm gonna steal that one.
You can have it. You can have it. Why take second when first is available? That's right. So go after first. And don't be afraid to be the first to do something new or to do something or to do it a different way.
Yeah.
Do it your own way, like you said.
You don't have to live a cookie cutter lifestyle.
That's right. That's right.
You gotta do it your way.
That's right. And you can use your talents and your skills to get you where you need to go. And it may not follow the path that someone else had to take. And just because it took them this long or they did it at this time doesn't mean that it's not available to you. And remember, I always say being pro me doesn't make me anti you. So don't be mad because I'm celebrating and I am comfortable in who I am. That has nothing to do with you. So being pro me doesn't make me anti you. So be mindful of that in that process. So with that being said, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you as well.
This has been a great interview. I am so excited I'm excited that you helped me make sure we got them chickens out of there because we throw it down on the chickens. I'm just telling you right now. We're like, let's box this out.
I told you, I say, wait, put your basket right this way. So they're going to try to sneak up on the side.
Exactly.
The wait was already 25 minutes.
Exactly. At least. So it was strategic, but what we did.
People were trying to sneak up.
Exactly. They were, but
the old lady came and talked to us.
Exactly.
Like she was trying to be slick. I'm like, no.
No, we see you. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That would be nice. Yes, ma'am. Excuse me. Yes, ma'am.
Boss
eye. That was so crazy, but it was the best. It was the best because it gave us an opportunity to spend time together and get to know each other.
That's
and to be able to build a relationship that will last forever. I'm completely excited about that. So with that being said, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And if you've not learned anything today or from this interview, I don't know why you didn't. I just don't. We have had the opportunity to speak with, sit in studio with, laugh with, learn from a phenomenal man who has had his journey, but never quit. And if you haven't picked up anything today, what I do want you to leave with is this. Your resilience matters, your efforts matter, and your attitude matters. You have to have the mindset that no matter what happens, you're going to make the most of the situation and you're going to be willing to learn in every scenario. It doesn't matter where you sit. It doesn't matter if you're at the front of the table or if you had a seat on the side. Check the environment. Be willing to look, be willing to listen, be willing to learn from anybody. Even when you feel like it's not your time, you may be sitting in the seat that is leading to something so much bigger if you just learn the lessons that are happening around you. Always keep your eyes open. Never close your eyes. Never Never move slow when fast is available. Never take second when first place is available. I'll say that again. And listen to this man's music. That song that we talked about that was written to his grandmother has touched my heart. Because as many of you know, I lost my grandmother and it really touched my heart to hear his song. But there's so much more coming from him. And so what I'm going to encourage you to do is tell us where they can find you. Where can these people find you?
Okay. So I can be found on Instagram at Granddaddy Souf. So that's going to be GRANDADDY_SOUF. And you can also find me on Facebook. I do have a Granddaddy Souf page. I don't really use that one. So you would have to look me up under my real name, which is Anson, ANSON, last name Watts, WATTS, Anson Watts. And that's pretty much it.
All right. So listen, go to iHeartRadio and listen to his music. His music is there, and connect with him. This guy is someone that's willing to connect and is excited about opportunities, excited about life, despite the journey. And because of the journey, he is electric and continues to want to move forward. Remember what he said too about that dash. We talk about it at funerals all the time. We read the poem, we hear it. But have you ever considered living your dash? Live your dash. Do that today. And with that being said, permission to love yourself has been granted. You all go off and have a good day, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much. See you soon.